Hello, I'm Hway of Dynamic Photowerks, and today we're talking about drones. Alright, so some of you know me as a car photographer, and that is rightfully so. I am a car photographer. I shoot all sorts of cars, including commercial stuff that doesn't have to do with cars. But I am also a licensed drone pilot. What does that mean? It means that I went through the FAA course and took the big test. That's not really a big test, but it's a test nonetheless. It takes some studying. And once you complete it and get the minimum pass rate, then you are now issued an FAA license to fly drones commercially called the Part 107. And what that means is I can fly my drone commercially and be paid legally. If you're flying drones and you don't have a license, that's okay if it's for recreation and it's for personal use only. That's just fine as long as it's under 55 pounds and you're not flying anywhere you're not supposed to be, like someone's private property or over a government facility or over Area 51. You would go to jail for a very long time. So today I'm going to be talking about my drones, and especially a new drone that you might be interested in knowing a little bit more about. All right, so I started my drone flying a little over like 5 years ago now, and it started all with DJI as a company. They came out with the Phantom 1, which was ages ago now, which didn't even have a camera on it. You had to put a GoPro on that one. And the way it worked was a little old-fashioned looking back now. I did not buy that one. I actually bought in initially with the Phantom 3 Pro. So this is the Phantom 3 Pro. This was my first drone, my first DJI drone, and it was a pretty capable machine. It came with its own camera on board, 4K video capabilities, all 3-axis gimbal, and it worked pretty great for me. The downside of this one was the technology at the time for like updating and firmware and stuff was still from the Stone Ages. Every time you had to do an update, and there were always updates, you had to plug all your different stuff into your computer in different ways. Things had to download and they beeped and buzzed and tweeted and did all sorts of weird little noises for what seemed like hours, and it just was not the greatest piece of technology yet. So what I did was I bought the newer one, but while I still had this, and I still have it, I actually modified it with some custom lights that I use for a couple of different projects, and these are like super bright LED lights that I flew and I can turn on for you, but I'm not going to. And I would fly it to have some crazy cool lights over my subject, so that's kind of what I use this for now, just because it's sort of the beater drone. Next one was the Phantom 4 Pro. The Phantom 4 Pro looked just like the Phantom 3 Pro, except it was better. There's a better camera, all that software craziness was over with. A couple of big improvements was a quick release blade. Boom, it's on. The other ones had to spin on. These are much faster. The batteries lasted longer. The camera was better. Everything was better. After the Phantom 4 Pro, I bought the Mavic 2 Pro. I didn't buy the Mavic 2 Zoom because I wanted bigger resolution, and I got that with the the Mavic 2 Pro with the Hasselblad camera, which was sweet because DJI bought Hasselblad a while back. But this thing goes with me everywhere, still to this day, even though it's a couple years old now. It is an extremely robust little machine. It goes with me everywhere. It's been through hell. It's flown through anything you can imagine, and it still produces really usable results and flies great and has never, ever done me wrong. The next drone that I have is a little bit bigger. This big to be precise. So this is the Inspire 2. This one came out a little over 2 years ago. It replaced the first version of the Inspire with a lot of great little improvements. It's still overall the same airframe, but with lots of technical changes, updates, better cameras, better flight controls, better sensors, better battery life, better everything. Right now you can get it with the X7 camera, which is a really, really nice 6K camera. This is it right here. Goes with me on all the major shoots for commercial clients. Shoots incredibly nice stuff, especially with the 4 different lenses I can get for it. Primarily, the 50mm lens is the coolest because it feels like you're in a helicopter with a big lens zoomed in, and the looks you can get are awesome. Here's a couple samples. All right, and last but not least, but the most modern addition to my drone hanger, do I call it a hanger? Okay, my hanger is the new DJI FPV drone. This is the new FPV drone. I just got it last week from our local drone distributor, who's awesome. What do you say we do an unboxing? Oh. All right, so let's talk about a couple of components on this drone. This is the craft, very small, but bigger than some racing drones still, like a mini Whoop or Cine Whoop or whatever. DJI still says that all the components are interchangeable. If you break a piece off, like the arm or the gimbal or certain pieces or lose the battery or whatever, everything is modular. I'm not sure how easy it is to take apart because I am not a drone repairman, but let's take a look. So let's put it together. Here's the drone. The battery goes in the back like so, pretty big. Gets you about 20 minutes of flight time. The battery is also kind of what it sits on the ground there like that. The 4 rotors go on just like all the other Phantoms, where it's sort of a spring and a quick release. So you put the rotors on, lickety split, like so. No more than 30 seconds. Then you've got the goggles. All right, the goggles. These are the version 2 of these DJI goggles. I don't know what improvements they have over the version 1 because I didn't own the version 1. But you plug in these 4 alien looking antennas to make you look like a fly or a bug of some kind. So here's the goggles. Gonna put these on. Looking good. So very high resolution screens inside, adjustable to different eye widths with these little things. You've got some buttons on the side that I don't know what they do. You've got the menu toggle button on top, as well as a back button for the menu and the record button for recording your content on the goggles. Because guess what? The goggles have an output to your phone, but also an HDMI slot, micro SD, for recording your feed on the goggles. Let's say you're flying it and you lose your drone in the water. You at least have some footage recorded on your goggles. It's not the same resolution, but it's still something. The other thing here we have is this little green thing. This is an extra body cover for your drone, sort of a high vis instead of the black see-through one. I'm not going to change mine. Last is the remote. This new remote is all new. It really looks like an Xbox controller. The thumbsticks are built into the heels of the remote, which is pretty slick, so you don't break them off. Ba-ba-boom, we're flying. You have a programmable button, C1 right here, as well as the power button. And then you on the front have the camera record button. You have a start-stop button. You have a return to home and emergency switch button right here. You have your normal, sport, and manual modes toggle switch right there. And you have a preset gimbal height switch there. And you have a spring-loaded wheel here for your gimbal height adjustments. Very slick. All right, so before you fly this, especially in manual mode, which is full FPV mode, if you are not normally flying FPV or have never flown FPV, I would recommend that you spend a lot of time in the DJI Virtual Flight App. This app is just like the real world. It's like a video game, but they got real world environments in there. They teach you all the movements, and they actually have a flight simulator to fly the drone in each different mode, and they teach you how to do it. And I have a lot more time to spend in there for manual mode, but If you're familiar with DJI products already, if you've flown DJI drones for years, you're going to be able to hop into normal and sport mode with ease. I hopped on it, I flew it, I felt like I've been flying it forever and nothing was that different. So that was really cool, and you can still get, I would say, 50 to 75% of that FPV look you want in sport mode. But to go that full extra length, you're going to need to spend some time in the simulator. Let's see, what else can I tell you about it? There's not much more I could tell you without flying it.
Hey, let's go fly it.
Sweet, let's go. All right, we're here at Lake Minnetonka. Let's set up the drone. I'll show you what to do here. The drone's already got the rotors on it, so we're all set there. Batteries installed. Just pull the cover off, throw that away. Goggles. Already got my antennas inside, or on it. Gonna hook in the power for the remotes, and then we'll just power that up. You're gonna hear the fans kick on, and this is basically ready. We'll fire this up. And then fire the remote up. All right, and then we're basically ready to fly. Except, so what I gotta do, I just have to format my card again. So I'm just gonna go in here. I'm gonna go to settings, camera, format SD card, aircraft SD, confirm, and we are set to fly. All right, so I've got my button right here on normal mode. I'll see it in the goggles, and then to turn it on, we're just gonna go like this. So this is really like my actual fourth day of testing, and I'm yet to actually try it in full FPV mode because I've got to spend a little more time in the simulator. But it's been really fun getting to fly it, you know, in sport mode around obstacles and feel it out, start to push close and closer to obstacles and just kind of feel out what this whole FPV thing is about, even though I haven't been in full manual mode yet. So. But it's really cool, and I think that DJI nailed it and hit a home run, and I can't wait to start putting this into actual commercial projects and get some awesome footage. So we're gonna go back and check out the footage at the house and see what the 1080p footage looks like with D-Cine-alike, to see what some color grading can do as well. So really fun day of testing, and back to the office right. All right, that's all I got for you today with the FPV drone by DJI. I hope you enjoyed the flying and the video. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like that smash button, all that whatevers. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.